Hey guys, Brian Hilliard here, author of the best-selling book Networking Like a Pro and creator of the popular program How to Expand Your Reach, Impact More Lives, and Get Your Message Out to a wider audience. And I gotta tell you, I am fired up. Deb's actually listening to some training, and I was kind of overhearing. I was in the kitchen. I was overhearing it. It was some stuff from Dean Graziosi, and it was some really, really good things. I actually jotted it down. I want to just kind of say it to you because I loved it. You might have heard it before. I believe I have, but I want to credit Dean because that's where I just heard it right now. The level of thinking that caused the problem isn't going to be the level of thinking that solves the problem. Let me say that again. The level of thinking that caused the problem isn't going to be the level of thinking that solves the problem. And I love that because, when you're talking about moving to the next level, right? When you're talking about being able to expand your reach, when you're talking about getting out to a wider audience, when you're talking about being able to get beyond just your local network of friends and family, maybe even getting paid speaking engagements and really just getting after it and getting out there, the level of thinking that got you to where you are is not going to be the level of thinking that's going to get you to where you want to go. And that's not knocking it. Like, that's not knocking you. It's not knocking me. It's just the idea that what got you here is different than where you're trying to go. Eric Worre talks about this. I don't know if you've heard about him. He does a lot of stuff. I want to say, he's definitely here in the United States. I want to say that he is in Florida, but that might not be true. It might be the opposite. He might be on the coast. Anyway, Eric Worre talks about this. I was watching a video from him, and he made a really good point. He's like, you're going to run into problems in your life. Like, everybody's going to run into certain problems. He says, here's the difference between successful people and less successful ones. He says, the successful people run into a problem that on a scale of 1 to 10 might be a 6, okay? And successful people, because they're a 7, they're able to get beyond the 6 problem. Okay, now if they ran into a problem that was an 8 or a 9 or a 10, well, then that would be different. But here's the thing, unsuccessful people, you know what they think? Unsuccessful people, when they run into a problem that's a 6, what happens with them is they wind up saying, oh, well, I'm just gonna shrink back. I'm gonna find more time, or I'm gonna go do something else, or I'm gonna turn around, or I don't have the time to do this, right? I need to find more time, and I don't have the time to be able to do this, okay? But I want to be able to take a look at what it is that you need to be able to do in order to actually get to the point where you can overcome that problem, right? So here's how it goes. When we talk about the level of thinking that got you there is different than the level of thinking that you need. Okay, here's essentially what that means. Going back to the Eric Worre point, it means that if you're a 6 now, okay, and you want to be an 8, okay, then you need to become an 8 so that you can get up to that point. Different way of saying it. If you want to get your message out to a wider audience, if you feel, you know what, I've got some really good stuff and I've been working with a handful of clients, but I'm ready to roll this out to the masses and really get after it and start getting a steady flow of clients and being able to maybe even get some paid speaking engagements or whatever the case may be, then if that's where I want to go and that's an 8, then I need, and I'm a 6 right now, which is fine, but I'm a 6 right now, then I need to get myself up to that 8, maybe even a 9. I need to take a look at creating a clear, consistent marketing message. I need to take a look at organizing my paid service offerings. I need to take a look at having the enrollment conversation and being able to do that in a way that's comfortable and makes me feel good without feeling like a super slick sales guy. Okay, I need to be able to up level from a 6 to an 8, maybe even a 9, so that I can get to where I want to go. Okay, so if you, as you're going out into the days and weeks ahead, I would encourage you, think about where it is that you want to go. Think about what it is that you're trying to do. And think about what you can do to get to that next level so that you can upraise yourself. One of the things that you might want to consider is joining our Facebook group. It's totally free. You can go to facebook.com/groups/reach-wider-audience. Okay? facebook.com/groups/reach-wider-audience. It's a great little community that we have some different tips and tricks on what you can do to expand your reach and get your message out to a wider audience. You can always swing by our podcast as well. I've got a podcast called Brand and Grow Your Coaching Practice. You can take a look at that on iTunes. I'm there, I'd probably say every week. I just took a couple of weeks off, so sometimes I take the summer off. Sometimes I take a long weekend. But for the sake of discussion, I'm there pretty regularly, and I've got some different things that you can do. We've got some interviews. I have some tips and tricks, things like that. We're actually getting ready to do our 200th episode. If you can believe that, I personally can't. It seems like I just started. Turns out I didn't. It's been going on for a little while. So those are some things that you can do. But remember, the level of thinking, like Dean says, the level of thinking that got you there needs to be different than the level of thinking that's going to get you to where you want to go. Okay, so if that's something that you want to do, I'd encourage you to swing on by. But in the meantime, feel free to like, share, or comment below. As you know,